Dodgers in the bottom of the first. Let's send it upstairs to Joe and Jessica for game 2 of this 4-game series. Joe, take it away.
All right, John, welcome to Friday Night Baseball on Sportsnet LA. Brought to you by Jack in the Box. The Dodgers and the Padres in game 2 of this 4-game series from Dodger Stadium. We welcome inside. Hope the weekend's off to a great start. Joe Davis and Jessica Mendoza. What a crazy game that was last night. The Dodgers go from down 6-0, 2 innings into the game, to winning it in blowout fashion.
Joe, it looked like a pretty ugly game when you look at the 6 runs in the 2 innings. And honestly, to me, this is a response from a team for every young kid to watch and see. That is how you respond when you're down. You think the game is over, and not just in a small way, but a massive way the rest of the game.
Also, you can watch and say this is how you play offense, because up and down the lineup, the Dodgers were great. 12 runs on 17 hits.
17 hits, and it came for pretty much every single batter in the order. And you're talking about the extra base hits, the doubles down the line, 3 home runs in that game. So it wasn't just singles, it was a lot of slug, and it was throughout the lineup. I mean, shoot, you look at just the 9-hitter in Tommy Edman, you look at Kyle Tucker, Dalton Rushing, throughout the lineup, continuing to provide and put the pressure on the Padres.
Look ahead to tonight. Shohei Ohtani takes the ball for the Dodgers. A couple of extra days of rest. I think the hopes are that he benefits from that and gets back to what we saw prior to these last few.
Yeah, 8 days of rest, and I think definitely a time of the year that he could definitely use it. You look at it last start, and for his standard, this isn't what he wants, right? Just 89 pitches, the 6 innings pitch, the 2 walks, only 3 runs that he did give up. But when you look at what he's done throughout the regular season, not one of his best starts. You're looking, after 8 days rest, a much different Shohei tonight.
For more on Ohtani, we go down to Kirsten Watson.
Thank you, Joe. Well, Shohei Ohtani was originally supposed to have the start earlier this week on Wednesday in Sacramento, but Dave Roberts said they moved it for a couple of reasons. 1, the team was in the middle of 13 in a row, and 2, they wanted to manage his schedule as they prepare for the All-Star break. So, of course, he has to start tonight. His next one will be in the Diamondback series. And Dave Roberts today was asked, what does that mean then when you look at the schedule as he does prepare for that All-Star game? He said right now it's unlikely, just due to his pitching schedule, that he will have an outing as a pitcher in that one, but there's nothing official on the table just yet. He still has time to make that decision, guys.
All right, Kirsten, his final start as a 31-year-old with his birthday coming up on Sunday. It's the Dodgers and the Padres. Game 2 in a 4-game series coming up on Sportsnet LA. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Get fired up with a Hot Ones Munchie Meal.
Moments away from first pitch, Dodgers and the Padres, and Andy Pages and his guys put up 12 runs last night after trailing 6-0. Had 17 hits last night for the 4th time in their last 9 games, Jerry. These guys have been swinging it.
I love their approach. They continue to have professional at-bats 1 through 9. They do that again as far as professional bats. I love their chances tonight.
Don't chase, make him get the ball up. Yes, you can sit on one side or the other, but it's the height of the pitch tonight they got to look for.
All right, get some run support for the starting pitcher. Shohei Ohtani will try to help himself as well against the Padres ace right-hander Michael King. We've got first pitch coming up with Joe and Jessica right after the break. Yeah!
Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA. It's brought to you by Carl's Jr. The real sourdough star is back at Carl's Jr. Get it for just $5.99 for a limited time. And by your Southern California Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Dodgers and Padres ready to play game 2 of this series. And Shohei Ohtani, who's the 2nd best pitcher in the majors, also the 4th best hitter in the majors when it comes to OPS. That 1.52 ERA, second only to Jacob Mizorowski. And here he comes, ready to take the ball, trying to pitch the Dodgers to their 9th win in their last 11 games, and trying to take back-to-back games for San Diego to open up this series. On a beautiful night for baseball this holiday weekend. He's coming off a game last week in Minnesota where he gave up 3 runs in the 2nd inning, but just 1 hit after that. He went 6, got the win. Last few starts not quite as good, but look at the full body of work. 8-2 with a 1.58.
Yeah, you look at that 1.58 ERA, and it's hard to believe that he's ever even had a rough inning at all. But it was that 1 inning in his last start. And the last time he faced the Padres, too, May 20th, 5 shutout innings. You look at all the pitches he's got in his arsenal. That's 7. Of course, really highlighted by that four-seam fastball and the sweeper that he'll throw 75% of the time. Of course, the sweeper you see there, hitter's just 118 against it. That pitch has been really good for him. Coming off a 8 days rest, a season high.
And facing this lineup, Fernando Tatis Jr. headed up there to lead things off. And then Jake Cronenworth and Manny Machado, who both went deep in yesterday's game. Sheets is in left. Ty France at first base. Jackson Merrill homered as well. The offense was not the problem for the Pods. Bogart, Song, and Duran, with Freddie Fermin going on the injured list with a concussion after last night. Off we go. Tony to Tatis with a fastball that just misses away, a sinker, which is a continuation of something we saw against the Twins last week. Saw a season high 12 of those pitches from him. And when he was throwing his four-seam, he was throwing it faster than ever. Career high 99.8 with that four-seamer.
It got to 100 miles an hour plus a few times in that outing. The two-seam, that sinker, just a nice look for these righties, trying to backdoor Tatis with it.
3-0 on Tatis, who doubled and walked yesterday, scored a couple of runs. Double came on the first pitch of the game against Sasaki, and it was his hardest hit ball in 2 years. And this is not a guy who lacks hard hit balls. Top 10 in the National League in hard hit rate. But a 4-pitch walk to start the game for Shohei. Well, one of the big stories coming out of last start, of course, was the lack of being on the same page for Ohtani and Dalton rushing. The frustrations that came out of that between the pitch calling and the cross-up they had, the challenge miscommunications. And it's easy to look at these numbers right here and see how good he was with Will Smith and not nearly as good with Dalton rushing. And certainly something to that, these guys trying to get on the same page. But it also, his stuff has not been as good the last few starts, and it just happens to coincide with when Dalton rushing has taken over the full-time job. That's not to take anything away from Will Smith, but that's to keep any undue weight on this whole situation falling on Dalton rushing. Ohtani's missed with his first 6.
I don't think we'd be talking about it except for what happened against Minnesota. Kind of an exclamation point. Shohei taking over the pitch calling at the end of that game for him.
There's his first strike of the night. Plan was tonight for rushing to call the majority of the pitches. And Dalton said, I've got to be faster, getting him the call. So if he wants to change, we got time to do it. And then I got to realize that Shohei is a little bit different, where it's not always going to necessarily match up with a scouting report. Rushing said he's probably guilty of trying to be too perfect calling the game, Dalton that is. And he said rushing, or Shohei sometimes is going to say, I know that he hits sweepers or whatever, but not my sweeper.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just got to be willing, he said, to pivot when Shohei wants to. Ohtani's home with a 2-2, and Cronenworth fouls it off.
I think Dave Roberts said it perfectly. As a catcher is a servant of the pitcher. To understand that, hey, whatever the pitcher needs right now, and this case Shohei Ohtani, but whatever he's feeling, and that's one of the biggest things, is he's going to have feel for different pitches on different nights. And regardless of scouting report, you trust that.
And then the hope is that Ohtani having called that game himself, Shohei said hopefully that's a way for Dalton to kind of learn the way that I like to pitch and how I like to sequence. Another 2-2 comes home and misses downstairs to run the count full. I was talking to Dalton about it, and he said, look, no matter what's out there, no matter what the cameras have seen, no matter what anybody said, it's on me. It's up to me to adjust. Here's a 3-2. Tatis runs, and that is back-to-back walks to open this game.
Dalton had him thrown out, too. Had it been a strike. Uncharacteristic start, though, here for Shohei.
Designated hitter number 13, Manny Machado.
And so the Padres trying to do what they did last night and get on the board quickly. Had those 6 runs over the first 2 innings and did it with extra bases last night. 7 extra base hits. Offense was not the problem. They scored 7 runs with a 12-7 win for the Dodgers. Manny Machado went deep for the 17th time to lead the club. His 16th extra base hit in his last 21 games. That leads the National League. And so while he's still not hitting for the kind of average you normally associate with Machado, the power has returned exactly how you expect.
Take a look at the 17th home run he hit last night. Got the Padres on the board in the first inning. I feel like Manny Machado is always a different player against the Dodgers, though, regardless of what his numbers are leading into any series. Kind of locks in a little bit more.
Yeah, talking to Dave Roberts, he said you just don't see the 190 or whatever the average is coming in. You still see Manny Machado on the back of that jersey. It doesn't matter what's happened these few months this year. You see what's happened the last 15 years in his perennial all-star career. First inning chance for him here. Tatis at second. Cronenworth at first. Pops out of Ohtani's hand. And so far, only 2+ hitters, but Shohei not nearly as sharp, I think, as folks had hoped coming out of the 2 days extra rest. Can go both ways, though. Yeah, he's feeling fresh, but could be a lack of sharpness after the extra long break. Let's go of a 2-2 pitch. And strikes him out with the fastball. So the first out of the game for Ohtani is a strikeout of Machado.
Goes with that four seam at the top of the zone. A beautiful setup, too. The couple pitches leading up to that. The bottom of the zone. Breaking balls. Comes up with the heater for strike three.
If he and the Dodgers get 7 of those Ks today, everybody gets the free Jumbo Jack tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink at LA area Jack in the Box restaurants. Good to see him finish off a hitter with 2 strikes there. That's been one of the areas where there's been the biggest drop off lately. He's given up 11 runs the last 3 starts. First 10 starts, 7 total. And he was almost untouchable with 2 strikes over that great start to this season. Sweeps in a breaking ball for a strike on Sheets.
It was almost impossible to sustain. I mean, what he was doing, it was unbelievable. Very Shohei Ohtani. But to have an under 1 ERA.
Just outside with a fastball. And 100. So seeing the same kind of life on the fastball that we saw in Minnesota. Here's his 1-1. Sheets pokes it foul. Strike 2. The other area where there's been a big drop off for Ohtani the last few starts has been runners in scoring position. He was one of the best in baseball through the first 10. Limited opportunities, but has not been able to get that big out in those situations lately. Opponents 5 for 9 in these situations the last 3 games. Here's his 1-2 to Sheets. Able to get to that high fastball to stay alive.
Sheets, one of those hitters with a flatter swing. There's a few of them in this lineup. Able to get to higher velocity.
Little look down at his landing spot right there. Very particular about his footing, as all pitchers are. But as we've seen with Ohtani, he'll step up on top of the mound the night before his start. Visualize, number 1. Number 2, just make sure that it feels right. Ripped to right field, a base hit for Sheets. It gets on Tucker in a hurry. Comes up gunning. Tatis to the plate. He'll score standing. Padres again strike quickly. Gavin Sheets knocks in Fernando Tatis Jr. and it's 1-0 here in the first.
I think the lack of command forces Ohtani to throw the sweeper. You never see him hang the sweeper this high in the zone. One of his best pitches, trying to back foot it there to Sheets, instead leaves it up. Gets the hit in the first run for the Padres.
Padres take advantage of the 2 walks with a base hit here from Sheets, and it brings up Ty France. France, the hottest Padre, last 12 games hitting .368, 4 home runs, 11 knocked in those 12 games. 31 years old, back with the Padres for the 2nd time. They drafted him, debuted with the Padres, but then has bounced around the last few years. Also went on a journey just in the way he thinks as a hitter philosophically. Said he got caught up in trying to find the perfect swing, kind of letting perfect be the enemy of good, and said went down a biomechanic rabbit hole and chased bat speed and found out, look, that's great, it's just not good for me. And so he's tried to get back to the old school approach, the old school swing, and it's working for him, hitting .271, the best numbers he's had since he was an all-star with the Mariners 3 years or 4 years ago.
You can see it with his hands. I mean, that's the biggest thing I noticed with Ty France when he's going right is just that move he's got when he gets into his stance. See that movement that he has, and it creates that whip. Allows Ty France to get the bat seed through the zone.
Late on this fastball, Ohtani's got his second K.
Shohei sees that whip and then raises it to 100 miles an hour. Beautiful placed fastball. A pitch he hasn't had great command of, but there he does. Second strikeout of the inning.
Chance to limit the damage to 1. Brings up Jackson Merrill. First and third and 2 out. Merrill, one of the home run hitters yesterday, and for the Padres, probably the most encouraging one as he tries to get his season figured out. Swings and misses at 100. Here's his home run, and the brightest part about it, if you ask Padres people, is where he hit it.
Opposite field, and that's Ben Merrill when he is right. You see that gap out in left center field. Let that ball travel.
Shohei's quickly ahead 0-2. 101 right there with ease. It has not been easy this first inning. 29 pitch coming. Back-to-back walks to start it. And a base hit for Sheets to get in a run. Hunter takes off from first, a swing and a miss, strike 3. Winds up getting 3 strikeouts, but the Padres get the first run, and the Dodgers come to bat against Michael King when you come back. Dodgers of this order presented by your SoCal Helpful Honda dealers. The pitcher leads off, and then it's Pages and Freddie Freeman. Mookie Betts kept on rolling last night. So did Muncy, so did really everybody. Tucker with the 4 hits, Tasker Hernandez in left field. Rushing 4 hits himself, and Alex Freeland gets his first start of this series. Against Michael King, who fired 7 shutout innings against the Dodgers back in May. That moved him to 4-0 in his career against the Dodgers, but they finally got to him on Sunday in San Diego. Scored 4 runs over 4 1/3 against him to beat him for the first time.
He's the ace of the staff, and I know he hasn't looked like it as much the last few starts. It's a dramatic difference from that start to May 18th.
Ohtani sends a fly ball down the left field line. That is a foul ball. And it's 0-2. Yeah, for King, 10 starts into the year, he had a 2.31 ERA. He was exactly who they need him to be. But in his last 7 starts, he's 1-5 with a 5.5. Starting pitching was never going to be the strength of this team. But King's the one guy they need to be able to count on.
The biggest difference has been the command. I mean, if you look at the stuff, I mean, he's not giving up a lot of hits. The batting average against is still low. But a lot of free passes. And the stuff shows you that he is still the ace of this staff as far as what he can do, how he can prevent hard contact.
Here's 1-2 to Ohtani. Is hit on the ground to second. Jake Cronenworth. And that is who Michael King is when he's right. Those ground balls. So 1 gone in this first inning, and it brings up Andy Pages, who knocked in a pair with a double yesterday. 324 over his last 9 games, making a last all-star push. The starters getting announced tomorrow night.
This to me was the catch of the year. I mean, Andy Pages, who has won almost every week, but the adjustment he made, taking out, I think, a hole in that wall. It's one of those as he's rubbing his shoulder, but yeah, you should see the wall.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to get talked about because of what they did offensively and what they did overcoming the deficit. But his defense last night, just awesome. Not just that play, a couple others where he took away hits. It's one of those things that's a lot easier to recognize when it's not good than when it is good. Defense, not just Pages, not just center field, but defense, period. You see it when it's bad. 3-0. Dodgers from down 6-0 to win it 12-7 last night. Second time in franchise history They had a game where they trailed by 6 and then went on to win by 5. The only other time they did that, 1951.
I mean, think about that. You got to go back, and it's only the second time in franchise history. I mean, you're talking 1901 on. Never happened, except for the time you mentioned, and something so rare to be able to react the way this Dodgers team did.
Chopper backs up Song. Song heaves it across in a nice play, and just his second start of the year at third. Spot obviously monopolized by Manny Machado, but Machado DHs today, and Song in his first year from Korea flashes the leather right here.
Sunwoo Song getting that ball down the line. It's the perfect one hop to get out Padres.
Base is empty, 2 outs, and here's Freddie Freeman. Singled and walked yesterday. 371 over a 17-game on-base streak. On a 1-0 from King, Freeman fouls it back, 1-1. He, like Pages, like Muncy, will have vested interest tomorrow evening as they announce the All-Star teams.
That's the best pitch Michael King will throw, that changeup. Batter's hitting just 194 against it. You get a look at it here. It's Freddie Freeman, but watch it just kind of continue to dive down.
And then he strikes him out with a high sinker. So he goes from the changeup fading low to the sinker high and finishes off a 1-2-3 first. Ohtani ends up getting 3 strikeouts in that first inning. 4-way from Jumbo Jacks. Use the fastball to limit the damage to 1. An inning where he gave up 3 base runners. Bottom of the order for the Padres here in the second. Xander Bogaerts leads off. Yeah, pops the first one back and out of play. Bogaerts doubled and scored yesterday. And now faces Ohtani, who he's taken deep before. Shohei tries to settle into this ball game, one of his longest innings of the year. 29 pitches in that first. Fires an 0-1. Punch to first. Freeman attacks, backhands, feeds Ohtani. You were touching on this yesterday. It's not just the hitting for Freddie Freeman at the same level that it's been for his entire Hall of Fame career, but the defense has gone up a notch.
Yeah, and that's what we've seen with the Dodgers infield as a whole, is they gotten even better than they were last year. Freddie Freeman, talk about it with the age of the consistency offense, but the defense in a position where it matters. You talk about more than any position noticing the bad over the good, and people forget Freddie Freeman every day. That solid glove over there at first base.
1 gone in the second inning. Here is Sunwoo Song. Made that nice defensive play in the bottom of the first inning. Song's in his first season, coming over from the KBO, and has not played much, and so he's had to battle that. He's a guy who obviously played every day in the KBO, but limited time here trying to keep the swing right. It's been much better lately. Hit his first home run in the big leagues Wednesday at Wrigley Field. Everybody had a home run Wednesday at Wrigley Field.
It seemed like that's the way it was going. Everything was blowing out of Wrigley, and look at the smile on his face. They covered him in the KBO, and his dream was to play Major League Baseball. Now he is here. But I don't feel like you really feel like you're here until you get that first hit and that first home run. Keep those balls forever, and he did.
So apparently a storm came through Chicago today, cooled it off a little bit, wasn't quite as windy, so it should be a little more tame. Well, Cardinals scored 17 runs. 17-1 final score. That has to be the biggest swing in run differential from one game to the next in Major League history, right? Cubs go from winning by 20 on Wednesday, and then in their next game they lose by 16. The heck? That's a team that has 2 10-game winning streaks and a 10-game losing streak this year.
Kind of feel like that's the NL Central in a nutshell. Hasn't been that consistent team. Shoot, throw in both Centrals.
Song swings and misses. And Ohtani's already got his 4th K.
Settling in real nice. Saw this sweeper in the last inning, not able to command it. Gets it off of the fastball at the top of the zone. You can see Song is beat lower half.
Two up and two down in the second inning. Here's the catcher Rodolfo Duran, who came on last night when Freddie Fermin left, and Fermin has been placed on the injured list with a concussion. So they put both Fermin and Randy Vasquez on the IL. Remember, Vasquez took the ball off of the ankle, left the game after 3 innings. This was the kind of night that it was for the Padres. They blow that 6-0 lead, lose 12-7. Randy Vasquez heads to the X-ray room, and on his way to the X-ray room, fainted. And X-rays are clean, but the contusion bad enough where they've got to put him on the IL.
Well, and panic set in too, because I mean, he passes out and they don't know that it's just from the pain. I mean, there was a lot of worry. Is there something else going on? Took him to the emergency room.
That's how the day finished. The day started by putting one of their best relievers on the injured list with Jason Adam. And if it's possible to go from the worst loss in franchise history to a worse loss, they might have done it. Statistically, had never lost by more than they did at Wrigley Field in their previous game, but then the gut punch that was that game yesterday, to go from up 6-0 to lose like that, probably hurts even worse. A little easier to kind of just flush a 20-run loss where you got a position player pitch in the last 2 innings.
Yeah, those games will happen, but when you get a 6 spot against LA, your rival, I mean, a team that you want to beat more than anyone else, you look like you got it in the shopping bag. Let's go home, and that was not the case. And then the 12 spot the Dodgers responded with.
Payoff from Ohtani, and he strikes him out. He's got 5 Ks out of his first 6 outs. To the bottom of the second we go.
Fans can bid right now on incredible memorabilia and exclusive Dodgers experiences, all while supporting programs that help young people thrive, both on and off the field. Scan the code or visit Dodgers.com/auction.
Mookie Betts starts the second for the Dodgers. Swings and misses at Michael King's first pitch. He's homered 3 times against King in his career, and so Michael, getting ready for the Dodgers, has to be taking a look and saying, I got to face Mookie again. How's he doing lately? Hopefully he comes in slumping. Above 400 over an 8-game hitting streak. Slaps his fly ball to right field for Tatis. And King has retired the first 4 today. From one hot hitter to another, Max Muncy, 2 hits, 2 runs knocked in yesterday. It really was just an all-around offensive display from the Dodgers yesterday. They had the power, they had 7 extra base hits, they hit above 500 with runners in scoring position. And with 2 strikes, they had 11 guys reach base once getting 2 strikes on them. Produced their 14th 10-run game this year. Here we are, first week of July. They already have as many 10-run games this year as they had all of last year.
Perfect example of the depth of this lineup, especially, and you said it last night, Joe, when they're all clicking. And that's what it looked like. I mean, shoot, you're saying it every batter comes out. Well, he had a great game last night. Here's another hot hitter, and look at their numbers the last 2 weeks. You're going to be saying that every single batter that comes to the plate tonight, because that's how it's been.
Changeup continues to look good for King. That was the one pitch that, even as he struggled last week, was still good. Threw more of them than he had all season. The Dodgers went 0 for 8 against it, and he finished off 4 of his 5 strikeouts on that pitch. Leaves this one up. Muncy chops it down to first for Ty France. He'll feed it on to King. 2 out. All right, so here is the aforementioned Kyle Tucker, who followed the full walk game to finish off the series in Sacramento with a 4-for-4 performance last night. Added a walk as well. He's reached base 9 consecutive times up.
And look at where he's hitting the ball. I mean, and the pitches that he was hitting. I mean, you're talking breaking balls, fastballs. That one right there, the double down the line. Talked to Aaron Bates pregame, and he's like, that's when I know Kyle Tucker is going right. When he can take any pitch and hit it opposite field.
Flies this one the other way, and Michael King on 20 pitches has gone 6 up and 6 down. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Visit Kia.com to discover movement that inspires. Fernando Tatis Jr. to lead off this third for the Padres. Started this game with a 4-pitch walk and came in to score. And so he's seen 5 pitches, all of them balls from Ohtani. He's able to recover from that first inning to go 1-2-3 in the second. Rocks and fires 1-0, and Tatis takes a strike. Shohei with the extra rest. Dave Roberts ready to push him extra tonight. And he said Shohei reported that the knee feels as good as it has in a long time.
Part of that extra rest, just with everything that Shohei has to carry. Doing what no other player has ever done. And there's going to be soreness, there's going to be inflammation, there's going to be all kinds of stuff throughout the season. So when he can get a few extra days rest, it's going to be massive. Get the strikeout there to Tatis on the sweeper.
You're really making that thing turn the corner, isn't he?
I mean, this pitch is lethal. There's a reason why he throws it as much. He's got 7 pitches, but the sweeper has been his best. And you see it why there, making Tatis Jr. just look silly.
Already 6 Ks for Ohtani. 6 Ks out of the first 7 outs of this game. And now Jake Cronenworth walked his first time. He has been to Ohtani what Mookie Betts has been to Michael King. 3 for 3 with a home run against Ohtani, and now this free pass that he had tonight.
3 of those hits, extra base hits. He's been able to barrel him up. A pitcher that does not get barreled.
And not many guys would say, hey, I'm back just in time to get to face Ohtani.
Totally.
But Cronenworth coming back from concussion. 4 out of his first 13. He went deep in yesterday's game. Went into that at-bat in the second inning yesterday with 4 RBIs for the year. And with 1 swing, got 3 of them. On this 2-1, takes a strike. .32-year-old in his 7th major league season. He was drafted as a two-way guy. They can get a tip of the cap from Shohei. Real recognized real. Even as a pro early on, did both. Down on strikes here. It's another strikeout for Ohtani. We got a folks Jumbo Jackson the third.
I mean, especially after the first inning, he walks the first 2 batters, and then since then, go ahead and sit down every single batter. 7 Ks. Here were 2 outs in the third.
I use a yellow highlighter on my strikeouts, and my marker is running out. Shakes through the first few. Now has one that he likes. Rushing, nodding in agreement. Machado takes outside.
Wanted to go to that 2-seam. Saw him use that early, did not have good command, so went away with it. But obviously a pitch he wants to continue to use and work on.
Down to third, Max Muncy. Maximum distance gets Machado. So that is 8 straight retired by Shohei Ohtani since the RBI hit from Gavin Sheets. 1-0, middle 3.
The MLB journey to 30 sweepstakes presented by T-Mobile is the ultimate bucket list. Enter now for your chance to win trips to all 30 ballparks. Visit MLB.com/journey to 30 sweeps.
Michael King has rolled through the first 2 innings of this ball game, retiring the first 6 Dodgers on just 20 pitches, and he delivers strike 1 to Teoscar Hernandez. Bottom part of the Dodger lineup here. Hernandez 0 for 4 with a walk yesterday. And after a pretty encouraging first couple games yesterday, looked like a guy who has missed a lot of time.
Yeah, and it's really just the swing and miss, the chase on pitches way outside of the zone, because his swing looks great. But after he had missed a few off the plate, they did not give him another strike the rest of the game.
Gets one right here, lifts it to center field for Jackson Merrill. And the first out of the third. Here comes Dalton rushing, 4 for 4 with a home run, 4 knocked in. How about this? The Dodgers have had 8 4-hit games this year, and rushing has accounted for 3 of them.
He's seen the ball big, and he is right now. Some adjustments he made. Garrison Watson talked about it yesterday with his own mechanics, and started with the big home run he had a week ago, last Saturday. And since then, he has just been locked in. One of the biggest changes he made was really just getting down into his legs more, minimizing that head movement. I mean, he's like Quadzilla. Those strong legs.
Use them.
He doesn't need that negative move. You see a lot of hitters get back, sometimes even leg kick, but get back into that load. Their hands go back. And for Dalton Rushing, he doesn't need to. If anything, just go down into those legs. And use the pop that your muscles can provide. A different type of style that a lot of hitters do need that. They need that negative move to be able to provide the slug, but not Dalton Rushing.
And he was saying that his swing doesn't feel a whole lot different, but the comfort that's come out of these changes, he says he's seeing it better. Take strike 3 right here.
That's just a good job by Michael King. And we talk a lot about the changeup, but it's the sinker off of that. Watch it come right at Rushing and then go back over the plate. I mean, you see Rushing backing away. It's got great spin on it. Those two pitches, the sinker and changeup, when working together, you can see why he's the ace for the Padres.
Well, when he's right and has that sinker command, he doesn't have to think a whole lot. It doesn't matter what your strengths and weaknesses are as a hitter. He's going to throw that sinker, and it's going to dive over the corner, and you're probably going to take it. He had more strikeouts looking than any pitcher in baseball last year, but that sinker command has just been off all year as he's tried to find the mechanics that he needs to feel right. 0-2 on Alex Freeland. And he said really the last few years he feels like those mechanics have started to devolve a little bit. The arm angle has gone way down. It's by far the lowest of his career this year. So that's been the focus primarily lately. Trying to get that arm back up. Said he's doing more long toss, trying to strengthen his shoulder. And as he's incorporated that, is starting to feel more like he wants to. Strikes out Freeland. The changeup disappears in 3 perfect innings from Michael King. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA. Brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Good times. Padres with a run in the first. Ohtani has locked it in. He's retired 8 in a row. As we move along to the 4th inning, he's got 7 strikeouts already. Important day for both him and Dalton Rushing. Trying to get back on track anytime you go through a game like they went through last week. It gets made into a big deal, and it's not a small deal, but you hope that you quickly can move on and even grow from it. And Dave Roberts was saying before the game today he hopes for both guys this does become a growth moment.
Well, and that's the important part about making sure that Rushing gets the next start behind the plate, because you could easily just be like, all right, let's mix it up. Let's try another catcher, see if that's a better fit for Shohei. But they're going to need Dalton. We don't know how long it's going to be for Will Smith to get back being the starting catcher. So Rushing for now is the dude, and he's growing. And he said that. Big growing moment for him that last start. And can't imagine, too, all the attention that got, how it made him feel. It's important to get that trust from his manager.
Sheets, who knocked in the game's own run, leads off, takes a curveball inside for ball 1. He had a really good analogy, I thought. Rushing said that he thinks of it like a marathon runner. He said if you see a marathon runner fall in mile 10, that's what's going to get played on the highlights. Even if he finishes the race, when we all should be focusing on the 26 miles he just accomplished. And he said, I kind of look at this the same way.
Look at a night that he had offensively last night, and if he can continue to produce, it will definitely be in the rearview mirror, especially after tonight, being able to go back out there and catch Shohei when he's had 7 strikeouts through 3 innings. I'd say it's working out just fine.
Seeing a couple curveballs here to Sheets, and then speeds him up. He goes from 74 to 99 for strike 2.
That's when he just has fun with the 7-pitch mix, because I talk about the fastball and sweeper 75% of the time, but you see him going into the sinker a little more, the curveball, depending on the hitter. You saw Gavin Sheets, the pitch before, just shake his head like, you go curveball twice, then you come back with the fastball. Thought for sure you were going with something different.
Softly hit, charging Freeland, flips it with his glove and gets him. They talk about the veterans at the corners that have been so good defensively. This has been the biggest part of Alex Freeland's value, his defense at second.
Just a good job charging this. And then how about using the glove? The glove flip is something that does not get executed well very often. Clearly something Freeland is very comfortable with.
So they get Sheets for the first out of the fourth, and it brings up Ty France. He pops the first one up. Foul ground at first. Freddie Freeman is there, and one first baseman pops out to another. Two gone in the fourth, and we get a word from Jack in the Box.
Get fired up with my new Hot Ones Munchie Meal with a Sriracha Curly Fry Burger or Buffalo Chicken Tater Melt.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Now you can spend clear the body language. Some extra emphasis from Dalton Rushing. You know, you see the head nods as he's trying to show that he's on the same page with Shohei. Merrill here with 2 out. 1 ball, 1 strike. Got a challenge here. I'm surprised they gave that to him. That looked a little bit delayed. ABS powered by T-Mobile, and it is a good one for Merrill.
Microscopically less than a tenth of an inch.
So 2-0. High fly ball, deep center field. Pages going back, track, wall, gone to dead center field for Jackson Merrill. Second home run in as many games this weekend.
This is where the challenge was everything for Jackson Merrill. Ended up getting into a very good hitter's count. I don't think Shohei gives him this fastball. Had he gotten that strike call, instead he gets a fastball exactly where he wants it. Merrill top of the zone. A really good top of the zone fastball hitter when he's going right. Gets the Padres on the board.
Bogarts taking downstairs, ball 1. So the first base runner for the Padres, and Sheets' RBI single in the first inning is a home run for Merrill. One and two. Fouls it off and stays alive. In the air to left center field, Tasker, Hernandez, and Andy Pages. Pages says, "Get out of here. I've got it. I'm the captain now." The Padres double the lead with a home run from Jackson Merrill.
First 40,000 fans on July 4th will take home a commemorative 250th anniversary coin presented by Budweiser. Stay after the game for a fireworks show. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions for more information.
Dodgers to get their second look at Michael King. Ohtani launches the first pitch he sees in the air to left field. The Sheets will wait for it to come down in the first out of the fourth.
Just missed that front side, just an edge too early on that sweeper. Still hit that thing all with the warning track. See him ignite that front side. No other hitter could even get to that pitch and hit it as far as he did as a miss.
Here's Pages. Up the middle, and Bogarts, heck of a pick and a hot shot. 2 gone in the fourth. Wow, what a play by Xander Bogarts.
I mean, just take away a hit, and it's the reacts on the hop, that late hop that he got. Spin move to come around, but watch this late hop. Catches that behind him, so the hand-eye coordination, ability to react while going down to your knee. And and a strike over to first.
And it keeps King perfect. Brings up Freddie Freeman. We started to talk about King working on getting his arm angle back up higher, doing more long toss, trying to strengthen that shoulder, and reporting that it felt particularly good this week. But he also said that it feels new. It's been so long since he's had his arm this high. So he was hopeful that he could maintain it. Base hit for Freeman, first base runner of the game for the Dodgers.
And it came off the changeup. That's got to feel good. That's been the pitch. It's been nasty for King so far. And Freddie Freeman knew he was going to get it. Lefties, of course. That changeup is still a great pitch. But Freddie, being Freddie, he can hit your best and send him to the outfield for a knock.
And an extension of that on-base streak now. 18 games for Freeman. It gets Mookie Betts to the plate as the tying run. Ball, one strike. Betts on a 1-1 pitch, takes it right there. Strike two. Upset with himself for not pulling the trigger. It's one of the things we've seen as he's gotten hot lately, is he has been way more aggressive. Swings here. Hits it on a line to center field, but Merrill will haul it in and end the fourth. Dodgers get their first base runner, but nothing to show for it. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. 2-0 San Diego to the top of the fifth. 8-9-1 for the Padres. Sung-Moon Song leads off. Swings and misses. Taking a rip at that high fastball from Ohtani. 7 strikeouts for Ohtani so far. Padres got a run in the first inning, taking advantage of back-to-back walks to start the game. Gavin Sheets knocking in a run. And then Jackson Merrill going deep last inning. Here's Song into the corner, but foul. And it's 0-2. Chatting through something with rushing there. Dalton said that the day after everything went down in Minnesota, he approached Shohei and said, let's have a talk. He said it was partial apology, partial man-to-man conversation about how we can get better together on this. Ground ball to second. Freeland sizes it up. Fundamental charge under the ground ball, throws him out. One away.
That's massive. I think a lot of times you see teammates, especially over the course of a long season, it's like, let's just put it behind us. We're not even going to talk about it. But communication, for rushing to take that moment, the humility it takes, especially for a player like Dalton, to apologize, to say, hey, I was wrong. How can I be better?
Adolfo Duran, the 9-hitter, takes the ball. For anything you're in any relationship, the hard conversations often are the best ones to have once you have them. Scary, but
terrifying. I cannot imagine Dalton rushing me like, all right, I'm going to go talk to Shohei. And I know he probably wants to kill me right now, but I need to let him know I was wrong. How can I be better? And honestly, I'm going to be catching you a whole lot this year. And I want to be the best catcher that I can possibly be. You got to put your ego aside. He's got great mentors on this team. We saw plenty of them talk to him in game.
Hard hit, and it gets by Muncy. It's going to be a tough play right there on that short hop. And Duran's aboard with one away in the fifth.
Sweeper kind of off the end of the bat, though. Only 75 miles an hour. And you see Muncy just try to get it to the side of his body instead of get behind it. He's had such a great season, and yeah, Shohei knows that's a ball he can field.
This is the part of Max's game that he's taken the most pride in this year. Defense. Tatis pokes the first one down the right field line. Tucker's over there to give it a look. Out of room. Matty Lee had a great piece in LA Times today about Max Muncy. And of course, the offense has been great. He's a top 10 hitter in the league. He's the #1 third baseman offensively. But the defense, he says, feels like the culmination of the last few years of working, where there'd be times where he felt good. First step was good. Throwing was bad. It all kind of coming together this year. And in the same way hitters can have their confidence really be something they can ride, he's feeling that defensively.
It was such a great piece because it walked you through a lot of times what we talk in the batter's box or on the pitching mound of how you work through mistakes. And to hear Max Muncy, first of all, talk about coming from the right side of the field over to the left side, how the angles, everything is so different. Stuff you take for granted when you see position players kind of go all over the place.
Tatis down on strikes.
Just elevate that fastball to Tatis after getting him out on the sweeper. His last at bat, 2 Ks against him, getting him to continue to chase outside the zone.
8 strikeouts over 4 2/3 for Ohtani, and a swing and a miss from Cronenworth, who tried to ambush him with a golf swing.
He was sitting fastball for sure. And this is where the miss. This is not the location that Shohei wanted. You see Rushing actually set up away, but it works well. He had probably hit his spot. Cronenworth might have hit it into the gap.
I'll just finish off that talk about Muncy. For his whole life, he's been on the right side of the infield, first baseman or second baseman. A few years ago, made the move full-time to third base, but he said it has taken years to get used to the way the ball moves over there.
Well, the confidence to attack the ball where he sees it's going. I mean, that was something that I thought was so telling. Getting inside the mind of a defensive player that prides himself on the defense, that, hey, I was doing it in practice all the time. But in a game, my reactions were not where they needed to be for me to just trust that I need to go through this. I need to backhand.
It's really looked like he's playing offense on defense for a lot of the year. Cronenworth reaches out, pulls a base hit to right field. Throw to third from Tucker is not close to in time. Duran flies in there, and the Padres have him cornered for Machado with 2 out.
One of the first splitters we've seen in this game, way outside. Cronenworth just pokes his bat out there. It's past the diving Freeland.
Well, Machado, after going deep in yesterday's game, going deep in his first at-bat of the day, is over his last 5. 2-0 Padres in front, 2 on with 2 out. Ohtani delivers. Machado pulls one to third. Muncy jumps up, makes the play. He's taken a couple away from his third base counterpart. And he helps Ohtani put up a 0 in the top of the 5th. We're halfway home in a 2-0 game. On a night fit for a postcard back here at Dodger Stadium, last of the 5th inning, Michael King has been dazzling, nearly perfect. Just 1 base runner for the Dodgers through 4. Freddie Freeman had a 2-out single last inning. That is it. And we've seen this from Michael King through the years, who was 4-1 against the Dodgers in his career, had those 7 scoreless innings against LA back in May. And even this season, where the numbers overall not quite as good, especially lately, he'll still mix in some starts where he is untouchable. He's always a guy that lives on the edges. And when he is on the edges, when he has his command, he's as tough as anybody. Strikes out Muncy, and it's right there on that line.
when you see Swords, I mean, these kind of half swings, just unsure, and that's where Max Muncy was. And these are all hot hitters coming to this game. We know this, but watch Max Muncy. Watch his lower half literally jump out of the way. Watch his lower half get out of there, and then this top half try to battle that off. And that's why when that sinker is going right, it just gives hitters fits.
Even on the nights where he's not completely dialed in with his command, he can still be good. His pitching coach, Ruben Niebla, was talking about that. He said, look, he's got movement, even when his command's not great. There's some deception in the delivery. Here's Tucker hooking a fly ball to right field for Tatis, 2 out. And he's such a competitor. And yeah, all these guys are competitors, but there are some of those guys where even the competitors around them recognize that there's something a little extra.
Yeah, to me, the struggles have come more with the command, but not the stuff. The stuff has still been there, and you look at the batting average against the soft contact, all of that has stayed consistent through the season. It's just been the walks, the hit by pitches. That's when he hasn't had great games, but tonight he's been dialed in. No walks yet.
Even on the nights where the command isn't perfect, if you help him, he can still be really good because he's still usually right around the edges. 2 outs. Teoscar takes high for a ball. It's been one of those nights, though, where for the most part he has put it right where he's wanted to. Hernandez looking for his first hit of this series. 17-hit outburst for the team last night. Everybody else around him partying. He went 0 for 4. Did have a walk.
That's a great take. That was the night last night, was the chase. Swinging at pitches outside the zone. And this is that 2-seam that tries to sneak back over the plate. And watch Teoscar try to trigger and stays back. Do you see that break, that late horizontal movement on that 2-seam? It's got that Bugs Bunny movement going right now.
Three and two.
That's just a great look at being able to take you inside the batter's box. You want to see a wicked sinker. Feel what Teoscar is feeling.
On a payoff, Hernandez fouls it off and stays alive. Strikes him out. Michael King, just one base runner over 5 scoreless innings. A 2-0 game as we march along to the top of the 6th inning. Joe Davis, Jessica Mendoza, Kirsten Watson, and Shohei Ohtani goes back to the mound. He's got 8 strikeouts in this game already. Padres got a run against him in the 1st and in the 4th. It's Sheets who leads off this inning that knocked in the 1st. Gavin Sheets has recovered from a rough month of June. For a lot of it, heated up the last few days and hitting .370 over his last 8 games. The sky does not look real right now.
Literally get your paintbrush out and try to even capture how beautiful. But nothing says California more than this view right now. Gorgeous night. Perfect weather too.
Scrapes it off of the deck. That splitter was diving away. And Freeland's been busy today. Throws out Sheets for the 1st out.
First baseman Ty France.
Ty France comes in hot, but Ohtani's held him to an 0 for 2 so far. 2 balls, 1 strike. Strikes him out. The 9th for Ohtani.
Second time he's gotten Ty France tonight. Both fastballs, just continues to elevate with the 4-seam. Cannot catch up. It's been anywhere from 99 to 101.
1 shy of the season high for Ohtani. Walked the first 2 hitters of the game. Hasn't walked anybody since. Jackson Merrill grounds the first pitch splitter foul.
Much more efficient too with his pitch count. Got up around 30 pitches in that first inning.
Curve just misses away, and the Performance Spotlight sponsored by your Southern California Nissan dealers. Merrill has homered in both games in this series. First time this year that he's gone deep back-to-back games. Shoots this one to left field. Hernandez will play it on a bounce. And the second hit for Jackson Merrill.
Good sign for Padres. Some of their batters, I mean, you're talking the worst hitting as a team in all of MLB has been this Padres team. There's been a lot of their main guys that have struggled. Xander Bogaerts up right now, just way below what you expect, especially some of the money and the contracts that these players have.
Xander Bogaerts, 7.5 years left on a $280 million deal, and he's 33. First month, he was their best hitter. Last 2 months, though, one of the lowest OPSs in the league. 10 seasons in Boston, 5 Silver Sluggers in those 10 years. And this 11-year contract with the Padres that he's just a few years into. Some freak injuries the first few years that partially to blame for him just being a little better than average, but he's talked about it like you said last night. He knows what he signed up for. He's been okay, but he knows that he signed up to be a lot more than that.
Put so much pressure on himself.
Pokes one to right field. That's down for a hit. Tucker's going to have to hustle because Merrill certainly is. Rounds third and comes home, and he's going to score. Single and a double with 2 outs here to make it 3-0.
This is ball. Yes, it gets into the corner and takes that sinker opposite field. I'm surprised that they don't get a throw that's closer to get Jackson Merrill out at home. He had to pause there for a second, and Merrill coming all the way around from first base. Not even close.
Song takes the ball. So Bogaerts with a double in both games. And his old Boston buddy. Bogaerts the bigger prospect coming up. Got there a little bit before Mookie Betts did and won a World Series as a rookie just a few months after he was called up. Bogaerts and Betts, Jackie Bradley. Bouncing ball to Betts, able to get there to save a run. Infield hit though for Song. 3 straight 2-out hits for the Padres. 102 pitches for Ohtani. Still nobody warming in that bullpen. Back to what we were talking about earlier. These couple extra days of rest. Dave Roberts is ready to push him.
Rushing a nice time to call timeout. Just give him a breather, knowing this is his last inning, most likely. And
just now some action down in that bullpen. Kyle Hurd.
Catcher Rodolfo Duran.
All the hits coming with 2 outs in this inning, and Shohei just trying to finish off the bottom of the order right now.
It's been easier said than done in this game. Top 5 in the order, just 2 hits, but 6 through 9, those guys have combined for 5 of them. And everybody down at the bottom of the order has at least 1 hit. 2 for that guy right there, Jackson Merrill, and 2 of the 3 runs scored. So the 9-hitter and catcher, Duran, who's hitting just 129 for the year, does have a hit in this game. Duran, who got to the majors after 11 minor league seasons. First career hit was a home run. Worth the wait. 0-2. And he has shown that don't have to throw him a strike. Back-to-back sweepers getting chases for Ohtani.
Got the hit on that sweeper. Got part of the plate. Just reached out, poked it through. Now getting him to try to reach just a little bit more.
Runner goes from first. He stays out there, but Duran checks. Stolen base for Song. Second and third, 2 out. The 1-2 pitch.
Good sign that Shohei's still hitting 100 miles an hour. Pitch 106.
Trying to finish off his night with a season high 10th K. Here he comes with a 2-2 to Duran. Tries it again. Most pitches he's thrown as a Dodger here is 109th. Here's another 2-2 to Duran, and it's fouled again.
Everything he's thrown has been away off the plate. Duran just keeps throwing the bat out there. Fastball, sweeper.
Pop fly, back of first. Freddie Freeman is back, camped under it. Inning over and likely night over for Shohei Ohtani. Dodger offense to try to get him off of the hook in a 3-0 game. Well, looks like Ohtani's night is finished, at least as a pitcher. A season high 110 pitches, most he's thrown as a Dodger. Gives up 3. No run support, though, as his battery made. Dalton Rushing leads off this 6th inning, fouls off Michael King's first pitch. Ohtani was good, but King has been great. Just 1 base runner for the Dodgers through 5 innings. 5 innings on 50 pitches.
We talked about that arm slot, and that was such a good point when you look at the massive difference. Even just 3 years ago, he was at 31 degrees. Now he's at 24 as far as where he's releasing the ball.
Rushing grounds a base hit into center field to open the 6th.
Dalton Rushing hits the pitch that no one has been able to. That's that 2-seam. And given these left-handed batters, especially Fitz, does a good job staying in there.
Yeah, what a week it's been for Rushing, bouncing back from everything last week. And it wasn't just that, you know, there was this much publicized frustrations from Ohtani, but he was really struggling offensively. Struck out 3 times in that game, but he has caught fire at the plate. And you pointed out, too, so many different veterans have reached out. I mean, we saw it that night. It was like a receiving line.
Yeah.
Guys ready to tell him it's okay. Freeland sends one in the air to left center field, not deep. Sheets is there. One away in the 6th, and it'll bring up Ohtani. Freddie Freeman especially has become a mentor for him. And Freddie was saying, I wish everybody could see the Dalton that we see the rest of the day, because the Dalton that everybody sees on TV from 7 to 10, Freddie said that's where the emotions are so front and center. But we love the guy. Everybody here loves him. He said the work that he puts in, we love the intensity, we love the fire. That's why you see so many people wanting to help him.
That was the biggest sign to me, Joe, is to see that line of veterans, coaches, everybody. A lot of times when you get a player that's that emotional, that's not as respected, you just leave them alone. You just let them be on the bench, figure it out themselves, because a lot of times they aren't going to receive it. I mean, the hardest time to receive that kind of help is in game when you're having one of the worst games that you've had in your career. And he sat there listening, understanding, and then trying to adapt. I know he went to talk to Shohei because of the advice that he was getting from everyone else. I don't think he does that if he's not encouraged by his teammates the way he was.
Freddie said, we love the fire. We're just here to help him try and keep it in check, try and channel it right. He said we don't want him to be buttoned up because that's not who he is. On a 2-1, Ohtani looks at ball 3. Well, as with many pitchers, King's numbers go drastically south when he gets deeper into games. 2 ERA the first 4 innings, close to a 7 ERA from the 5th inning on.
The key is that 3rd time through the order. And that's where he's at right now. Shohei at the top. That 50 pitch mark. Those two things seem to coincide with each other. The numbers start to dip.
Rushing at first, one away. 3-2 to Ohtani is lifted in the air to right field, but Tatis is right there. 2 out. We get a word from SoCal Ford.
See Ford in a new light. F-150, Mustang Mach-E, or Bronco. It's time to get to your Ford dealer today.
So King, who gave up 4 runs and failed to get through the 5th inning on Sunday, is fired 5 2/3 scoreless against a team coming off scoring 12 runs yesterday.
With 17 hits, I mean, everybody was hitting.
It's held him to 2 hits today. Singles from Freeman and Rushing. 31-year-old from Rhode Island, 3rd season with the Padres, over in the Juan Soto trade. Cy Young caliber first year. Last year the injuries ruined it. He had a nerve issue in his shoulder. He dealt with a knee problem. Was held to about a half a season of starts, and that muddied the free agent picture for him. But he comes back to the Padres on still what is a good 3-year deal, $75 million.
A bit deferred the first year, but at 9, he's over $30 million the next 2 years. Kind of an odd deal, but I think because he didn't have the market he thought he would as a free agent, he can opt out too after this year and next year.
Pages ahead, 2-1. Leadoff single from Rushing. He's still at first. Count evens 2-2 on Pages.
You know, you never say this about the Padres team about even a month ago, a few weeks ago, but to get Michael King out of this game and into their bullpen, and it's a bullpen that has not been the same, especially with the stuff of King right now. That's why this at bat from Pages has been huge. Fouling off a bunch of pitches, the takes, keep getting that pitch count going up.
As low as you were ever going to see. 66, 5 2/3. Head start coming from rushing at first as the 3-2 comes home to Padres, and he takes ball 4 to get the tying run to the plate.
Great at bat. I mean, to foul off the stuff that we've seen be swing and miss stuff earlier in this game, and now you're seeing third times either order the adjustments being made.
And it's Freddie Freeman. One of the 2 hits for the Dodgers in this ball game extended his on-base streak to 18 games in the process, hitting close to 400 in that time with power.
It's interesting. It's at 6. Michael King's at 67 pitches, but it's starting to feel like 90. He looks similar to how Shohei did the last inning. Not that same command. Laboring a lot more in this inning than he has the whole game. And you see there the times to the lineup at 293, it jumps dramatically where he's at right now.
Remember, he said working on that new delivery, he felt good in his bullpen, but was wondering was he going to be able to sustain it through an outing with that higher arm slot, which is a higher effort delivery.
You're working different muscles.
Adrian Moreholm gets loose. Dodgers hoping it's too late. 2 on, 2 out in the 6th. Tying run at the plate in the form of Freddie Freeman. He grounds the first one he sees to Jake Cronenworth, and that is 6 scoreless innings from Michael King. Call to the bullpen is brought to you by Jacoby and Myers. Yesterday became a battle of the bullpens with Vasquez and Sasaki both only lasting 3 innings, and the Dodgers a whole lot better than the Padres' pen last night. Just 1 run allowed over those 6 innings of work. Well, the Padres gave up 8. 3-0 Padres ahead as we go to the top of the 7th, and Kyle Hurt takes over against the top of the order. Fernando Tatis leads off and fouls back Hurt's first pitch.
Hurt struck out the side on Monday, which was a good bounce back from facing San Diego a week ago. Struggled in that game, gave up a run, 2 hits, and only a third of an inning pitched. Had a couple walks, struggled with that command, which has been a big issue the last couple months.
Tatis walked to start this game, came in to score their first run. On base 25 of the last 26 games. On a 2-1 from Hurt, chops it foul, 2-2. That relief effort for the Dodgers last night. 8th time in the last 9 games they've given up 0 or 1 run, the bullpen. Part of that is the starters have continued to get deep into games, and so the bridge has been shorter to get to the end of the ball game. Strikeout at Tatis to open up the 7th.
Kept back at that count. I mean, it looked like he was going to lose him there when he got down 3-1. Comes back with consecutive strikes. This one out of the zone, and Tatis continues to chase outside the zone. His 3rd K already on the night.
So brings up Jake Cronenworth. Walking a single. He's continued to impress in his first week back after missing close to 2 months with a concussion. We were talking about this last night, but really all he could do for most of that rehab was just eye exercises, and it's something that he's maintained. You can see him before the game today. Continuing to work on those eyes. Thinking of him, he says, just like a muscle anywhere else in his body. So the difficult thing was where other muscles you injure, they give you a time frame. It's going to take this kind of, take 6 to 8 weeks and you're going to be ready to go. He said with the concussion and getting those eyes ready to go, there were days where he's like, I think I'm good. But then days where he felt like he was never going to get back. Aboard again with a base hit into center field here.
It's been a great response the last couple nights. He had the home run last night, and then now a base hit off the changeup.
Third time Cronenworth has been on base. Manny Machado has not been able to do anything with it in this game. He's 0 for 3. Strikeout his first time, and a couple good plays by Max Muncy down at 3rd. 2-0.
Manny Machado loves himself some breaking balls, and he saw that thing start to hang. No business swinging at it, but comes out of his shoes. Way in off the plate.
Hurts 2-1 pitch. Machado pulls his hands in. That's ball 3.
Love that he went back there, though. First with the slider, then the fastball high and tight into Machado.
And that's the walk. First and second with one away. For Gavin Sheets, RBI single in the first inning started the scoring for the Padres. They got one more in the fourth, one in the sixth, and threatening here in the seventh as they try to end this 6-game losing streak. Have not lost 7 in a row in 5 years. And the pitching back to doing what it was doing in their best stretches. Maybe not zeros every night, but for a lot of the year when the Padres were doing well, it was, despite the offense, not doing much at all. Bullpen was awesome. Rotation was exceeding expectations. Now that's kind of traded places the last couple weeks, and especially during this losing streak. 66 runs allowed during the 6-game skid. Michael King just what the doctor ordered for the Padres tonight. Sheets grounds one to second for Freeland. There's Betts for 1. There's 2, and a double play makes it a score-to-7 for Kyle Hurts. 7th inning stretch brought to you by Sit and Sleep, SoCal's most trusted mattress store. Michael King on just 68 pitches fired 6 scoreless innings.
Yeah, and it's been the sinker changeup combination. A few swords from this hot LA Dodger team. Coming in, you mentioned it. It's exactly what the Padres needed, is someone to lessen the blows that keep on coming for this pitching staff.
Mookie Betts starting the 7th for the Dodgers. Tries to lay off. Went around. One ball, 1 strike. 3 runs on 8 hits for the Padres. No runs on 2 hits for the Dodgers. They've got Betts, Muncy, and Tucker here in the 7th. Morejon continues to warm in the Padres bullpen, even with King at just 71 pitches. Craig Stammen going to manage this game extra aggressively, doing all he can to end this losing streak. Now the way it's gone, doing all he can might mean letting Michael King continue.
I'm interested to see, because he has lost some of that command. Starting last inning has just not been the same.
He walks Betts to open the 7th. So the 3rd base runner for the Dodgers the last inning plus after they had just 1 over the first 5. And up comes Max Muncy.
Third baseman, number 13, Max Muncy.
Muncy, who has homered against King before, takes ball 1.
Brings the action.
I know it's just 74 pitches, but King is definitely tired at this point. It feels like he's up in the upper 90s.
Muncy with a base hit to right field, and the Dodgers in business in the 7th. First two reach against King, and Kyle Tucker comes up as the tying run.
This is what I love about this lineup, is just the adjustments they're making now. Third time through the order. The changeup, it's been the best pitch for King, and Muncy, beautiful job. Get down, get even with that thing, and get it into the outfield.
And that is going to do it for Michael King. Just one base runner through 5, but 4 of them the last inning plus. And even though he's only at 75 pitches, Greg Stammen going to do all he can to try and end this 6-game skid. Morahone will come on to face Tucker when you come back.
Purchase a special ticket pack and get your exclusive Dodgers Hawaiian shirt presented by King's Hawaiian on July 7th. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions for more information.
So Michael King's outing ends very quickly the way he was rolling. Dodgers, though, putting the pressure on here in the 7th inning. Down 3-0. To the bullpen they go. Adrian Morahone, one of the top left-handers in the National League. In the last month, he has looked like that. He had a .475 ERA at the beginning of June, but 12 consecutive scoreless outings coming into this one. Walk from Betts, single from Muncy. Kyle Tucker, the tying run.
And one of the strengths of this the strength of this Padres team is definitely the bullpen, and one of the better arms out of it. Of course, there is always Mason Miller, but Adrian Morahone been right there with him when his stuff is going right.
As tough as anybody on left-handed hitters.
Previous pitch was called a ball. The catcher's challenge.
Kyle Tucker 3 for 8 with a home run against him. Yeah, this is being challenged, but it is a ball. The Padres lose this one. So 2-0 on Tucker. Last couple days as good as Kyle Tucker has looked since coming to the Dodgers. 4 walks on Wednesday, 4 hits yesterday. 2 on, nobody out, and a 2-0 pitch. After a look at second. Morahone this season has only given up 2 home runs. He's not given up one since the start of May. Here's a 2-0. Tucker grounds one to second for Cronenworth, who can't get it, and the bases are loaded. Dodgers getting a gift. Let's see if they can unwrap it.
This ball is smoked off the bat of Tucker over to Cronenworth, which would have been an easy double play because of how hard it was hit, and Cronenworth just cannot field it cleanly, get it out of his glove.
And so the tying run is on, and the go-ahead run is up in the form of Teoscar Hernandez, who feels like a ticking time bomb here in his first week back. Cracks one in the air, left center field, bomb, bang, grand slam.
Night, and he'll take that to get this one. Slider down in the zone to take the lead with one swing.
1-2 on rushing.
Oh, yeah. Get me inside that batter's box. Take that slider and just smoke it out. He knew it as soon as he hit it. Beautiful swing. After Michael King comes out of this game, the Dodgers unleash.
First home run for Teoscar Hernandez since missing about a month and a half with a hamstring injury. 8th of the season. Talking yesterday about how Dave Roberts said that he still sees that look in Teoscar's eye that was there from the day he showed up this year, motivated by a down year last year. Rushing to first, France takes it to the bag and now flips it on to Morejon.
When you think about how big that error was from Cronenworth, that would have gotten 2 base runners off. Home run would still happen, but it would have been a 2-run shot. A gift. It did get unwrapped, Joe.
And the Padres, for a lot of this season, the defense has been awesome, and it's needed to be to complement that pitching to overcome the lack of offense. They are not good enough to be able to make mistakes like this at the rate they've been making them lately, especially against teams like the Dodgers. Against teams like the Dodgers or against the Cubs this week with the conditions they were dealing with at Wrigley Field. Tommy Edman pinch hitting here for Alex Freeland. And it looks like Rojas set to pinch hit for Ohtani. .378 for Edman over his first couple of weeks. On a 2-0 from Morejon. He leaves it upstairs, ball 3.
Morejon only given up 1 run in his last 22 appearances. That's how good he has been. That's how good this Dodgers offense is.
1 in his last 22, none in a month. First home run in 2 months. And Michael King, you got to be wondering what hit him. 5 scoreless innings, had given up just 1 base runner. Dodgers, though, chase him from the game with a walk and a single here in the 7th, and then 2 batters later, and his team's down. One base run of the first 5 innings for the Dodgers. This is 7 the last 2.
That's the perfect response, I think, with the Padres right now. I mean, just what happened? King is dealing. Looked like that they were finally going to get that W.
So here is Rojas, announced as the pinch hitter. And they've got Edman picked off for out number 2. Edman going on first move there. And Morejon, the lefty, throws behind it. Wipes the bases clean, 2 out. And Rojas, who's coming off a 5 for 10 series in Sacramento, getting some extra playing time. 5 for 10 in Sacramento, hitting above 400 the last 3 weeks. Limited duty, but he stayed ready for the chances that he has gotten. Oh, and 2. Dodgers 3rd in the majors in comeback wins. 1st in the majors in wins overall. They're 57-31. Trying to grow their lead over the Padres to 14 games tonight.
2 nights in a row, different kind of daggers for the Padres. Dodgers, and you mentioned it, they lose mightily to the Cubs coming into this series last night. No better assurance at 6 runs in 2 innings. They think they've got the win. Dodgers come back, score 12 tonight.
Still 6 outs to get.
So Teo. Probably a Randall fan just saying, way to go.
Yeah.
And he's waving back and thumbs up.
It's going to be Edgardo Enriquez, by the way, for the 8th inning. Rojas down the line, a fair ball, and he stays hot. Ricochets off a couple people down there, and he's into second with a 2-out pinch hit double.
It's such a hard thing to do, to come off the bench and get hits. And Miggy Rowe continues to show the art of being a teammate, understanding of his role coming in. Yeah, you're right. Almost got everybody down the line there.
We were talking about Teoscar being the only guy that couldn't smile yesterday. They had 12 runs on 17 hits. He went 0 for 4. Was the only guy in the starting lineup that didn't have a hit. But he's making up for that today with the lone guy to produce a run with that grand slam. Pages batted around here in the 7th, or one batter away from that. Charged to King, 2 runs charged to Morejon. So the bullpens in this series, Dodgers have given up 1, Padres have given up 10. Ball 3 on Pages. And they're going to put him on and go lefty-lefty against Freddie Freeman.
First baseman, number 5.
Second walk of the game for Pages. And now Freeman, who's 1 for 3. Freddie's single in the 4th was their only base runner through the first 5 innings of this ball game. Couple base runners last inning, nothing to show for it. Here they've batted around. 6 guys have reached base, a 7th when you include the air. On a 2-1, Freeman grounds one right side, backhand France. Morejon to the bag to end the inning, but Teoscar Hernandez unloads. First pitch that he sees, a grand slam to change this game. Game-changing swing from that man. A grand slam for Teoscar Hernandez. Into the 8th inning we go with the Dodgers leading for the first time. Tommy Edman, after pinch hitting, stays in and plays second. And it's Edgardo Enriquez, who worked a 1-2-3 inning last night on just 10 pitches. France, Merrill, and Bogarts coming up. One ball, no strikes. Scored a 7th inning for Kyle Hurt. And now Henriquez. 7 innings for the bullpen for the Dodgers in this series and just 1 run allowed. You know, it's been the biggest surprise collectively. When you're looking at the different phases of the team, biggest surprise has been this Dodger bullpen, especially when you consider the injuries they've gone through. You look at where they were last year, down in the bottom half of the league, up in the top 10 this year in just about every category. And Enriquez, one of the guys that has taken a big leap.
And that's what they've needed. I mean, Tanner Scott is another great example of just getting what they first signed him to be. It's been a massive difference, especially with Diaz being out.
Chopper, Muncy attacks it. Man, oh man, so slick.
Biggest difference of him this year, the last 3 years, is him just confidently, with conviction, going and getting this hop. Him attacking this hop instead of letting it get him. We've seen how many times at third base, balls bounce off that heel of his glove because he's not doing this. Just the confidence and swag he's got now over there to do and make plays like that consistently.
On the offensive over there, ball on Jackson Merrill, who's gone deep again in this ball game. And he helps preserve for Edgardo Enriquez what is now 6 outings without giving up a hit, 8 outings without giving up a run. 2-0 on Merrill.
Well, with Enriquez in particular too, I mean, the stuff's always been there. That high velocity fastball up to 100 miles an hour, and then the slider. Finally being able to command both those pitches, throw it where he wants it. See that, take a look at the cutter even there that he's mixing in.
Enriquez home to Merrill with a 2-2, and he struck him out with a fastball to 100.
And it's the location. We've seen Jackson Merrill attack fastballs up in the zone, but this one's down and in. And you see Merrill just swing underneath that pitch, and how 100 looks like 104. Get in on the hands there of Merrill.
So as you tired all 5 that he's faced in these 2 games on just 19 pitches. And here's Bogarts. Knocked in a run with a double his last time. That made it 3-0 Padres in the 6th inning. Last night, 6-0 became a 12-7 loss. Tonight, 3-0 has become a 4-3 deficit. Right on the corner with 101. Not supposed to be able to do both those things. Have the velocity and the command. Bounce it to Muncy. 1-2-3, 8th inning, Edgardo Enriquez.
First 40,000 fans will take home this exclusive Freddie Freeman 18th inning walk-off bobblehead presented by 76 on July 6th. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions for more information.
Bottom of the 8th inning. This is the 22-year-old from Venezuela, Bradley Rodriguez, who's in his 2nd season. And misses inside with his first pitch to Mookie Betts. 1.90 ERA over his first 2 years in the big leagues.
Been a little bit different since the end of May. Not the same stuff. Had just ridiculous numbers at 1.48 ERA.
Way up there. Right side of the diamond. It'll be Ty France when it comes down. And Betts is the first out of the 8th. When we wrap up, these guys will have the postgame show for you, presented by Mercury Insurance. It's going to be Tanner Scott for the 9th inning. 8-9-1 due up for the Padres. That's Song, Duran, and Tatis. 4 right-handed hitters available on the bench tonight. Top of that list, probably Miguel Andujar, one of their hottest hitters, and he has been a Dodger killer. Muncy takes outside for a ball.
Came in, got a hit, pinch hit last night.
Dodgers looking for their 9th win out of their last 11. Yamamoto going tomorrow. They've got Sheehan going on Sunday, coming off his turnaround start last weekend. And the 2 pitchers left for the Padres in this series, ERAs around 7. Griffin Canning tomorrow, the right-hander. J.P. Sears on Sunday, the left-hander. 7:10, 4th of July, 4:20 on Sunday. 5th of July. Not nearly as fun of a day.
Wait till this year. Hangovers
This is
will be
the
real.
year, huh?
Oh no. Still, it's going to be even worse. The day after the big 4th. Happy birthday, America. 250 years.
Looking good for 250.
Right? A day over 200, I'll tell you that.
Right. I heard America's on peptides.
It's GLP-1s.
That's the secret. Monty singled and scored in the rally last inning, has taken a walk. And it brings up Tucker. Key moment. 1 batter, 1 pitch before the Tasker Hernandez grand slam. Tucker reaches on what should have been a double play. Open the door for the big inning.
Kind of hit exactly what you
Previous
want.
pitch is called a strike. The hitter's challenging.
Challenge here from Tucker.
He's going to get this one. No, clips the zone.
Call is confirmed. Los Angeles has 1 challenge remaining.
His hit, 103 miles an hour, but right to the right of Cronenworth, leading him to second base.
Dodgers nothing doing for the first half of this ball game, but you look up here in the 8th. 5 hits, 5 walks. The game often is just too long for the other team.
He is 3rd time through the order against King. And we saw how good this stuff is. He is the ace of this Padres staff for a reason. And he looked like it 2 times through the order, and then the adjustments that were made got him out of this game, and that was the difference.
Crack bat, pop up, shallow center field. Xander Bogaerts to get Tucker. 2 out. And the man of the moment, man of the night, Tasker Hernandez, who hit a grand slam to flip the score.
Beautiful job on the slider, bottom of the zone. Mookie Teo, all smiles. 1 swing, down 3-0, and now up 4-3.
You know, last season we talk about it being motivation for Tasker Hernandez. It was still an above-average year. He had 25 home runs. He drove in 90. But by his standard, and he set a really high standard in recent years, it was a down year. Went through the injury, wasn't the same after coming back from that. Wasn't good defensively. Got in a lot better shape this offseason. He said running on the beach, running up hills, running up mountains. Ate much better. And was really starting to cook before he got hurt. Hitting .380 the last couple weeks before he got hurt, which made it extra frustrating when he did go down. But he can look and see, because of that hot stretch before he got hurt, his numbers are in a spot where he's improved upon that season last year. He's got a half season. It's not a sprint, but He's past the halfway mark of the year as he comes back. He can look and see, okay, I got a shot to have that really good bounce back year I was looking for. Song with a nice play to finish off the Dodger 8th. Fasten those seatbelts. To the 9th inning we go. Tanner Scott coming on. 8-9-1 coming up. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Get fired up with the Hot Ones Munchie Meal. Back here at Dodger Stadium, where a Teoscar Hernandez grand slam has taken a 3-0 deficit and made it a 4-3 lead in a save situation for Tanner Scott.
Scott had to come into the 9th inning. They didn't want to have to use him. Paul Gervais had struggled a little bit with command, but the last batter out to end the game last night.
It's going to be a pinch hitter to lead off this inning. Samad Taylor pinch hitting for Song. So the righty pinch hitting for the lefty. Scott comes home and downstairs for the first pitch. 4.74 ERA last year. His first season with the Dodgers down to 2.08 this season. And the aforementioned Andujar is going to bat second. Taylor's got great speed, an important first man for Scott to worry about. 1-run game in the 9th inning. 42 strikeouts to only 3 walks this year. It's jarring even seeing him go to 2-0.
It's the guy we saw in 2024. I mean, obviously everything the Dodgers wanted when they signed him before last year. That confidence, the conviction, he'll throw his pitches.
You're messing with some problems if you put Taylor on. 3-1 pitch. In for a strike. Payoff. We'll do it again. Samad Taylor pinch hitting, leading off the 9th, fouls another, stays alive.
This is what makes him so good too, is to Taylor in this spot, being able to battle off pitches. Really good bat to ball skills.
Trying to keep his speed off of the bases. 14 out of 15 in his career in steals. Another 3-2 and another foul ball. So Samad Taylor ready to see the 9th pitch. Corona native, first season with the Padres. It's giving him a big boost of energy, boost of production in his month in the majors. On the 9th pitch from Scott, he swings and misses. Strike 3, 1 away.
Went down with the slider. Beautiful back foot, left on right. Missed this thing about 6 inches. Perfect location.
That's now 23 strikeouts since his last walk. You got to go back to mid-May to find the last time Scott issued a walk. Rushing goes out there for a quick visit as Andujar climbs into the batter's box as a pinch hitter. You mentioned pinch hit base hit yesterday. 500 average his last 6 games. And in his career against the Dodgers, he's hitting above 370. 2 of his 5 home runs this season have come against LA. Andujar, the 31-year-old who started his career with the Yankees. Bounced around the last few seasons. .318 hitter last year between the A's and the Reds, and in a 1-year contract with the Padres. Tying run at the plate, 1 gone in the 9th. Scott comes home, and Andujar takes an inside corner strike.
That thing is lethal. I mean, where Tanner Scott releases this ball from and then comes into that inside corner.
Don't know that he meant to there, but he'll take it. 0-2. That's more like it. After the pen went 6 innings yesterday, gave up just 1 run. Scored a 7th from Hurt, scored a 8th from Henriquez, and now Scott working on the 9th. He fires 0-2 and strikes him out. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to Miguel Andujar, and 2 gone in the 9th inning.
Might not be hitting all the spots. Look at rushing, set up high, ends up getting bottom of the zone. Doesn't matter. Strike 3, sit down. 2 Ks, 2 batters.
2 pinch hitters, both down on strikes. Top of the order in Tatis with the Padres down to their last out. Shows bunt and takes a strike. Unthinkable a few years ago when this was the home run champion. Up there is the tying run in the 9th inning.
It's still unthinkable. I mean, that is a win. He lays down a drag bunt. I don't care what his average is.
1-1. Walked against Ohtani on 4 pitches to start this game. Came in to score. 3 strikeouts since. Scott brings him a 1-1. Tatis takes ball 2. Jake Cronenworth is on deck. Three and 1. Command not quite what we've seen it, and that is a possibly high bar that he's set. And even without that, back-to-back Ks to open the inning. Now 3-1 to Tatis, a swing and a miss, and they're down to their last strike. Snatch it from him again. From down 6 to win game 1. From down 3 to win game 2 on a grand slam from Teoscar Hernandez.
How about the bullpen, too, for this Dodger team, just continuing to shut down not just the Padres, but any opponent. Mateo, we talked about it yesterday, the only guy in the lineup not to have a hit when your team's got 17. It don't matter if you get the grand slam, it's the game winner to take it 4-3.
Yeah, and you mentioned the bullpen. 3 scoreless innings tonight. Hurt, Henriquez, and Scott. And for the series, 9 innings, just 1 run. For Jessica Mendoza, Kirsten Watson, and the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long from Dodger Stadium. A 4-3 Dodger win. Stay tuned for Access Sportsnet Dodgers in Game 3 of the series tomorrow night.